Hi guys, we're here today to unfortunately give you some very bad news. Alex Oldhauser, who you may know from this channel and the other channels, is the host of Almost Cancelled, the TV podcast, and he was on some of the other ones. He does the Nintendo podcast. He passed away last night. He was hit by a car, and it was instant, if that is any consolation. But this was shocking news to all of us. We were all hurting quite bad from it. I myself personally was recording another show with him 30 minutes before this apparently happened. Which, so this is just an update to give you, let you know, because if you've been watching any of this stuff, you've been listening to any of this stuff, you deserve to know too. We listen to shows from other people, we feel like we know those people. We know how that would feel, so absolutely. And everyone wanted to be here to do this video, but it was all just down to who was available at the time.
Yeah.
So we're all hurting pretty hard. What I will say is, content-wise, we're not recording anything else for the rest of this week. It means no Jessica Jones review, which was something we were planning to have out by the end of the weekend. It'll all still happen. We're all getting back into things next week, but we need a few days to deal with this and get over it. And I don't think any of us would be remotely entertaining.
Nope.
Over the next couple of days, so it's just not happening. But the other things I do want to say that are a bit more positive. Alex and a lot of us are big fans of the guys at Kinda Funny, Colin and Greg, that kind of stuff. Greg made a post just maybe about an hour ago, maybe less than that. Tomorrow they're going to mention it on their show. He put up a post, a very moving post. I recommend you go read it at the Kinda Funny forums. And they're going to be promoting the GoFundMe page for Alex's mum. Alex's mum, her house flooded last month, and she had to move out because it was so badly damaged, and they're trying to raise money on GoFundMe. You'll find a link to that in the description below. If you want to help and send respects, that's probably there's no other better way to do it than try to help his mum out right now.
Yep.
Because Alex was, he was actually cutting down the content he was doing so he could go and help his mum and help rebuild the house, their family home that he grew up in.
Weren't you guys recording when it started flooding?
We were actually recording a show live. If you want to see the evidence of that, I can't remember the number off the top of my head. It was an episode of 1.21 Gigawatts, the Movies podcast, and Alex had to dip out halfway through because his house was flooding as we were recording. So,
and even as it was going on, he was he was still being upbeat and making jokes about it.
Yep.
And the other guys we want to thank is Brian Altano from the Comedy Button got a hold of this information as well. He's put out a really touching post. It was actually honestly kind of hard to read, but and I'm sure he's helping with the GoFundMe. In fact, I think it was those guys at Comedy Button that actually convinced Alex to do the GoFundMe in the first place.
Yeah.
So absolutely thanks to those guys. It's really special for those guys to reach out and acknowledge this, because Alex has been very active in those communities.
Yep.
Means a lot to us. And on a personal note, I just want to add that this is really shocking and it's really surreal, and I don't think I really quite believe it yet. Because I was talking to him just last night and we were talking about plans, we were talking about what we're doing soon. But the other part that's really surreal about this is that for the last year and a half, I've been recording content with him. First audio, then video, TV podcast, video games podcast, a whole bunch of stuff. And it hit me today that 60 to 70, 80% maybe of our friendship is on record. I can go back and listen to all of it or watch half of it, and that is really surreal. I put on the first thing we ever recorded together, which was Almost Cancelled, #1. And it was terrible. It's a terrible show. We've gotten better with time. But the one thing that's clear from the start of that is just how friendly he is and how we quickly had chemistry and got along great.
He made me, when I guested on Almost Cancelled, I wasn't watching as much TV as you guys, and I brought in Shark Tank, and he's like, "No, man, you want to talk about Shark Tank? We're going to talk about Shark Tank."
Yeah.
And that's just, for me, that's Alex in a nutshell. No matter what, he was always accommodating, so...
Yeah, if I can just say something to like anyone that's like listening to this that has like listened to him in the past on the shows and everything, like I'm sure if you listen, you probably got like a sense like, oh, this is like a cool, friendly, nice guy, and I was fortunate enough to hang out with him a few times in real life and to chat and talk and Skype with him and just like anything that you thought about him is just like a million times more in real life. Like he's, so much funny and friendly and welcoming and a nice dude, and he's so much more of that in like
Yeah.
in real life than
And
you can even guess.
and it's interesting you saying that, even because I've never met him in person, and that's
Yeah.
Either.
and I
Yeah.
think that says something about the world we live in today. That this morning when I found this out, I was shaking about this, and this is about a person that I have never physically met, but that doesn't really matter that much anymore.
Uh,
The internet's kind of got us all together, and we're
still
part
had a
of this-
relationship,
Yeah, yeah. It's
You talk to him multiple times a week.
I seen him. I've
Most
talked to
days
him.
by the end.
I talked to him more often than I talk to a lot of my personal friends that I've known
Yeah.
for years. It's just it's shocking. So if you want to send respects, whatever, anything you'd like us to pass on, do email us at mailedfuzz@gmail.com. We will make sure everything that gets sent to us we will pass on. Shout out to some of the other mailed fuzzers who couldn't be here today. Alan, Skinner, Ethan, those guys who actually went to high school with them and grew up with
Yeah.
them. They're all obviously busy right now. Skinner's also his roommate. I was
Yeah,
worried about him
it's-
today. So
Rough on those.
give them shout outs. Do all that stuff. But just we're not going anywhere because he loved doing this stuff, and we're going to keep doing that. Next week we'll be complaining or chewing about the same TV we did before. It will just be more extremes because Alex had that way of being the guy in the middle who could actually bring us in.
Yep, he was the baseline.
So now it's just going to be me and Mario shouting at each other. So I hope you look forward to that.
Maybe a little more Nintendo love.
Oh, we're gonna have to
For
go-
Mario,
we're gonna have to go Tarzan.
Yeah. It's funny. I made the banner earlier today with Super Mario with the eye patch on, because I used to give Alex crap for liking Nintendo, and I'm not going to lie. One of my first thoughts today was what's going to happen to that massive amiibo collection.
There's still more to come pre-ordered that he's got. Like they're just gonna
Yeah.
keep arriving.
Yeah. So we'll wrap this up here. We don't want to drag this on, but so checking the links below for the GoFundMe and other stuff. Certainly thank anyone we've mentioned. If you want to send your thoughts or feelings, condolences, you can tweet us at mailedfuzz at mailed_fuzz, or email us at mailedfuzz@gmail.com. We will read it. We will pass it on to people who it'll touch dearly. But we lost a friend today or last night, and that's so thanks very much, guys. We always appreciate any of your support, watching our content, and I never thought I'd be making a speech like this at the age of 26, but here I am. So thanks very much, guys, and we will see you soon.